Eddie Brock attempts to reignite his career by interviewing serial killer Cletus Kasady. Cletus escapes prison with a little help. Hello everyone, I'm Steve from Valhartv, and today I'll be reviewing Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So this movie has been delayed a couple of times, and now we finally get it. This stars Woody Harrelson as Cletus Kasady, Naomi Harris as Frances Barrison, Tom Hardy as Eddie. So we really get like the cast back because we did see the last movie, Venom 1, where Cletus was played by Woody Harrelson. So we get to bring in his whole character. And the movie starts out with Cletus and Francis as younger, like, kids, almost. And they're in love with each other. And they're at an orphanage. So I thought that was interesting to change their backstories like that. Because Cletus in the comic books, from what I've read, didn't really love anybody. He just was out there to kill people and, cause carnage. Hence the reason why we have Carnage in the movie. And we cut from that to Eddie Brock and Venom talking to each other, trying to figure out how to live together. And as they go along, we end up getting like a buddy cop type vibe and the like grumpy old men vibe as well from these two. And there is a lot of emphasis, actually several scenes where they refer to them as a couple, like they need couples therapy and things like that. So I thought that was an interesting choice of words that they were using for these two. Guys who are just friends and they're trying to figure things out, And we get the whole first two acts are really Eddie Brock and Venom and Cletus. So Cletus really likes Eddie Brock, and he wants him to interview him so he could tell his life story before the end, because he's on death row. I believe it's death row. And then Venom ends up finding a clue, and that's when we really get to see Venom continuously tell Eddie throughout the whole movie that he was a loser and he didn't. And, he wasn't amounting to anything until Venom came along. So I thought that was very interesting for them to do as well. So it really showed in the beginning, like the first two acts, that they weren't really getting along with each other, They were just kind of cohabitating. And then we get a crazy scene where, they start fighting with each other and just trashing the place, like his apartment. And we also get Detective Mulligan, who goes through and he's trying to figure out Eddie's secrets. And, of course, things happen in jail when Cletus really pushes Eddie's buttons, or I should say Venom's buttons. So this is where the whole thing comes in of Cletus breaking out of prison. So these scenes I thought weren't bad. I think that the emphasis on Eddie being a loser, according to Venom and stuff, wasn't really necessary, Excuse me. So I'm not sure what they were kind of going for, because this had a really dark, like, almost horror aspect to it. But then it's supposed to be like a vigilante movie, and it's supposed to be like a buddy cop movie, grumpy old men movie. So there were several lanes that this was trying to follow. For the most part, they did all right. I think the third act is kind of where they really picked up. Like when, towards the end of the second act to the third act, when Cletus broke out of prison, I thought that was really, really cool. We really got to see some real good Carnage moments in this. They did come up with a couple of wonky powers for Carnage, but other than that, I thought it was really good. Woody Harrelson and I think Naomi Harris were really the best part about this whole entire movie. Tom Hardy's good, especially when he's talking to a CGI head that's not there, that nobody else can see. But Venom, I think, in this was also a little more annoying because he kept talking throughout every part where even people were trying to be serious or funny. He kept kind of going back and forth. And then we finally get to the whole fight. So Naomi Harris plays Frances Barrison, who I believe is called Screech. I think they say that once in the movie. And her character looks completely different compared to the comic. So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting how they changed their backstories and had kind of a love story in this. There was like 2 different love stories in this too. It was kind of awkward. But yeah, so when we finally get to the fight scenes and stuff. Oh, and before that, there's a rave scene where Venom talks about coming out of the Eddie closet or something. That really didn't hit. It wasn't really relevant to the movie. It was just kind of awkward, kind of weird, of them putting in. But yeah, like once we get to the fight scene, I thought that was probably the best part of the whole movie. The fight with him and Carnage was actually really good. Most of it was pretty much all CGI. We do get a Hulk moment from Infinity War in this as well. But yeah, I thought the whole fight scene and then how Cletus was just talking to Eddie and he just, said a couple of things to him. And Brock is just like, hey, sorry. And then, done. I thought the after credit scene or the post credit scene was actually kind of neat as well. But I mean, yeah, other than that, we had like a few too many things going on in this movie. The whole putting Eddie down wasn't really necessary, I thought. The best part, again, of the movie was Woody Harrelson and Naomi Harris when they finally actually got more screen time. I don't think that the writers knew how to lead up to the end fight scene. So the first and second act were kind of a little drawn out, I feel like. So I would give this at least a 6.5, 7 out of 10. This wasn't a bad movie. I think the first movie was a little bit better. Let me know what you thought down below of this movie too. Leave a comment, please. And if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and also subscribe. Take care for now, everyone.